Hey friends, this is Waylon Lewis coming to you live from Boulder, Colorado. I have kind of lost my voice, so I'm going to try to speak really quietly, which will sound super solemn and mindful. I've been going through these and such lately. Little Manuka organic honey drops, individually plastic wrapped to destroy our ocean even faster. Hello to all of you. Martina, hello. If anyone has a question or a comment, please put it in there. If you have a criticism, which will be part of the theme of today's little discussion, this is only going to be a couple minutes. So if you're here, this will be about 5 minutes. Please ask a question if you'd like. So the title of today is what to do and say, two different things, what to do and say next time someone tells you to be smaller. So has anyone out there been told to be smaller, or been told to fit in, or been told that you're full of yourself or full of ego and you need to stop being that way? Has anyone here ever been told that by anyone? If so, give me a sign of some sort. A smiley face, in my case, a bags under the eyes face, thumbs up, a heart, a funny face emoji, anything that you'd like. A yes, a good old fashioned yes, a couple thumbs up. It's funny, Instagram Live I'm on is very active. Yep, too independent. You've been told, Deborah, you're too independent. And Facebook, there's more people, but not seeing any real signs. So, okay, Lindsay on Facebook, this is exactly what I've been needing to know. Synchronicity, grateful, of course. So I'm a big 6'3", loud guy. I grew up, Romag says my dad told me that, and I don't have anyone else left in the world. Love to you. So, and Melanie, yes, I've been told I'm too passionate. So we're all told to fit in. We're all told to have our rough edges sanded off. And half of that is helpful, right? When we're growing up and we're walking into the walls and we're running, onto the train tracks, our parents, our community, our teachers, everyone is going to try to bring us into where it's safer, right? But the other half of that is that it's people's own egos are threatened by you being yourself. There's a lot of beautiful quotes. Maybe one of you can put one of your favorite quotes in right now. There's only one you, so do that well, do that fully. There's only one you. So from a Buddhist point of view, which is my path that I've been lucky enough to practice and grow up in, you can be ego, right? And ego is sort of taking yourself too seriously, looking out for yourself. The mantra of ego, the mantra, you're reciting a sort of hymn or a prayer. The mantra of ego is what about me? 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 And from an ego's point of view, we say that all day to ourselves. Things that have nothing to do with us. We see that a bit with our president. We are overly sensitive and proud, and we're like big puffed up somethings, and we take everything too personally, right? It's all about me. So ego is a real concern. So what to do? So when someone tells you that you're full of yourself and to be smaller and to shut up or to be quiet or to be less dorky or to be less arrogant or to be less outrageous, what to do? First of all, listen. This world is full of too much bad advice on Instagram, on Twitter, is full of too much aggression. A lot of that aggression you could say is patriarchal. It's like, no, the mantra for ego is what about me? The mantra of ego defending itself is to attack and say, no, F you. No, F you. You're a troll. I'm going to block you, right? So it's to go on the offensive. The best defense is a good offense, right? That's true from an ego's point of view. So the first thing that we do is we actually listen, take it in. So the Buddhist symbol is the Vajra or Dorje. Does anyone know the Vajra or the Dorje? Anyone here? Give me a sign if you know it. So the Vajra or Dorje is like a thunderbolt historically, and it cuts with discernment, with prajna, with cutting wisdom. It cuts neurosis. But through the gaps of the Vajra, it lets in wisdom. So that's kind of our practice here. We get tough feedback. They say, you're full of yourself, Waylon. You're so egotistical. Stop being that way. You're a problem, Waylon. So the first thing you do is maybe don't react. Just sit with it. Say, that's what you say. You say nothing. You listen. Imagine listening. So you listen, you take it in, and you say, what part of that really feels true and accurate and helpful? And usually there is some wisdom in any criticism, no matter how neurotic this person is, even if they're crazy, there's probably some wisdom in what they're saying because they're reacting to some phenomenal existence, some phenomena, right? On the other hand, you listen and you discern and you say, well, look, I'm a big, loud, dorky boy. When I was getting criticized growing up in the Buddhist community, everyone told me to shut up and be quiet and go away because I was this chaotic, nerdy kid running around trying to play basketball on the ceilings, jumping, trying to hit the ceiling, playing basketball. And everyone else there was there to meditate and be serious, right? So there was a quality of saying, no, part of me is being loud and dorky and silly, and maybe I don't need to do that in a way that hurts other people or harms their meditation practice, but I can listen and I can also love myself, and that's the Buddhist notion of maitri. You be kind to yourself. So that's the first one. You do the vajra, you do the dorje, you cut anything neurotic, but you listen to anything helpful. And the thing to say generally is going to reflect what you've done, which is, thank you so much. That's super helpful. But, and then you can say, but whatever. And the but whatever is actually helpful to stand up for yourself sometimes, not in an aggressive way, but to say, look, I can't apologize for being me. Part of that is me. Part of that may be neurotic and maybe too much. And thank you for that reminder, but I'm me, and get used to it. And you can say that without being some macho kind of FU thing that you're going to put on Instagram and be all full of yourself. Remember, a lot of the social media stuff, Twitter, Instagram, is feeding this sort of self-righteous aggression. And we don't need to get into aggression. Aggression does, ladies and gentlemen. Any of you have a dog? Have you ever yelled at your dog? Any of you had a child, yelled at your child? Anyone had a lover or relationship, yelled at your lover or relationship? It does no good. It makes it worse usually. The only good thing about the yelling is that you're not suppressing it. You're not bottling it up. But the yelling, when I yell at my Redford, who's back here, let's see if I can, do you see him taking a nap? When I yell at Redford, he just looks at me like something's wrong with me. Like he doesn't really, what's up with me? He's not even particularly scared. And what that has taught me is that yelling doesn't really communicate. It doesn't really solve what you want to get accomplished. You know what yelling does do with human beings particularly? It makes what you hate, what you're yelling against, it makes it bigger. So from a Buddhist point of view, we say aggression creates further aggression. So if you hate George W. Bush and you go yell at him aggressively, then people who maybe felt like he was half good and half not that helpful might be more entrenched in defending him, and they'll yell back at you. This is what we're seeing in politics, the two extremes going at each other. Both extremes have some wisdom, some insight. It's true, despite what Trump says about both good people on both sides. That's not what I'm saying. I am saying everyone's coming from their life experience, but then they get caught up in aggression. And aggression is one of the most, if anything were evil in this world, it would be aggression. But aggression isn't evil. It's something we have to make friends with and not be aggressive about. Calling something evil, whether it's an empire or ourselves or our own emotions, is not helpful. So we make friends with that. That's maitri. That's the Buddhist notion of maitri. So I think that's about it. A lot of you are saying you've had experiences of being yelled at or told to be quieter, told to be smaller. And again, our immediate reaction is usually shame. You shame yourself. or you attack them. So let's try to do neither. Let's try to think about how it could be correct and learn from it, because we're going to learn from criticism. In Buddhism, they say, your enemies are your greatest teachers. You're going to learn from criticism, because enemies aren't shy, are they, about telling us what's wrong. So as Joy Thompson just said, be assertive without aggression. So it's very easy to say that stuff, right? It's very easy to say what I'm saying. And the practice, the meditation practice, that word practice, yoga practice, the craft, the practice is to try again and again. And when you mess up, don't be aggressive about yourself. Don't be guilty. Also, don't write it off and say, whatever. Take it seriously. I have a blog on Elephant called Regret for 3 seconds. You take it seriously, and then you move on. You take it seriously. You take it to heart. You think about what you could have done better. And God knows it's a long list for me. And then you move forward. Because just being caught up in your own shaming, self-shaming, your own guilt is really ego. Frankly, ego is a tricky little MFer, right? Ego is slimy, it's sneaky. Ego will love to beat up on you. Ego will love to beat up on others. Ego loves to do anything that keeps it self-important and in charge. So feeling ashamed of yourself is no more helpful than being aggressive to those who are yelling at you. So again, I'll say this and then I'll quit unless there's any comments or questions. There's a lot of comments. What do? You listen, like the Vajra. You let in the wisdom and you block the neurosis. So these parts, the blades, block the neurosis. So you say, that's that person's trip. Like, my friend loves me. Some of that's helpful, but they're tripping out on their own thing. And you have to discern there. You have to be wise. It's not in your interest to protect yourself. You really need to learn, right? I think JFK or someone said, I always want to be the dumbest person in every room I walk into. You want to surround yourself with people who are smart and who can teach you something. And if it keeps repeating, that's okay, Romag. You keep repeating. It's a practice. And practice, whether it's going to the gym or meditation practice or anything, you come back to it again and again. So I'll leave you with that, Romag, because that's a great question. The Buddhist phrase at the summer camp I went to when I was a kid was, if you lose your mind, come back. It's not, don't lose your mind. Be perfect. Be perfect. Be serious. It's when you lose your mind, come back. So you're going to fail. News at 11, you are going to fail. News at 11, you are going to fail. That's okay. Failing isn't the end of the world. You fail, you come back. 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 So let's all do that for one moment with me. Take your best posture of the day. You don't need to be Buddhist or whatever to do this. Just take a good posture, best posture, Superman, Batman, whatever posture. What am I saying? Black Panther, Wonder Woman posture. Take a good breath, breathe in and out. Eyes are open. We're not trying to shut anything out. This is Buddhist shamatha meditation. Dedicate yourself to everyone here listening all over the world and to the benefit of everyone. Because this is not about us, this is about all of us. Find your breath in and out. Place your attention on that breath like you're a little surfer. Your attention is like a little surfer going in and out on the wave. And you have a thought, you've messed up, you failed, that's okay. You notice that thought, thinking, and you come back to your breath. And for more, you can search meditation instruction on elephantjournal.com. You can search Maitri, M-A-I-T-R-I. Maybe someone could write that in on elephantjournal.com. And thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.